Yo, mic check 1 2 1 2. Make sure we're clear. Bringing you guys the first episode of You Are My Brother. This channel, it's been long overdue, and the reason why it's been long overdue is just haven't really had the time to express and come together with everything I've been going through in my life, but then observing how others are living their lives and being able to put that into, I guess, a pie or some type of formula to create this community, which I want to call You Are My Brother. What this channel is really going to focus on is a wide range of topics as we go through the years and go through the videos and the lives, connecting with people from not only in the US but all around the world. You know, that's my vision of this channel, and hopefully it's the vision of this community to say, you know what, we want to have greater input in talking and, you know, deliberating ideas, issues, shared commonalities, even differences that we have amongst cultures, and be able to look one another in the eye or be able to hear one another's voice and connect on a love level, if you will. Meaning that, do they have love and support for what it is that you're trying to bring to the table, your ideas, your thoughts, your energy, things like that. And that's what this channel is really about. It's really about promoting love, support, but also keep in mind that I'm a person of color. And I made this channel because I've always had a background in helping people and wanting to see a better tomorrow. So I thought to myself, you know, why not create this channel and create commonality amongst people out there throughout the world who look like me but may have different experiences, and how can we all come together to share those experiences? So that's really what this channel is about in a nutshell. But also, as I go through this, you're going to learn a little bit more about what this channel does. So just in case you're new around here, please feel free to hit the like button. I'm trying to grow this channel for a multitude of different reasons. One is to engage the communities throughout the world on issues that affect all of us and how we can strive for a better tomorrow. One issue is that I'm an African American male, born over here in the United States. I've had chances to travel throughout the world and see how other countries live, or how other people connect, how they feel, how they love, how they touch, how they hear one another, how they listen to one another, how they understand one another. Haven't been to that many places, but I've been fortunate enough to go to some. But the point is that I want to drive home that thought of, how do I connect with people who may go through the same struggles that we go through over here in the United States, as being an African American male, or being a Latino American male, or being an Asian American male, or being a female, even in that sense. You know, this is a channel that's called You Are My Brother, but also have an element of You Are My Sister. And the reason why this channel was started was because I had reached a point in my life to where I had been previously working in sales for a long time, making good money, and I still do that now. But as I look around, I started seeing myself not necessarily unhappy, but maybe feeling unfulfilled. And I could think back, you know, with the incident with Brother George Floyd passing away, and all the instances that we've seen now, you know, not on a Black Lives Matter movement, because that's just a humanity first thing. Like, I don't understand, you know, why all of this hate, why not enough love, and why not enough caring. So that's what this channel is about. But getting to when George Floyd passed away and the cruel manner that he passed away, realizing that this justice system is wrong, realizing that maybe some of the values that we have over here in America and the fundamentals of it is wrong, or it needs to be improved upon. Let's just say that. So that way everybody can have a better future. Not only Black, brown, Asian people, people of color, but you got to imagine that there's white people out here in this world that don't want to be a part of this, you know, that don't want to be, hey, I hate this, or see themselves even affiliated with racism or discrimination. So going back to George Floyd, you know, I started feeling a lot of angst because, you know, we're going through this, you know, rough time that we're all living in right now. And when you have that element Then you have the George Floyd situation. You have people protesting. You have people angry up in arms about where they see this system and where their rights are and how they may not even feel like they have rights. So I was I was just struggling in my mind to understand how can I create a better impact. And what I thought to myself is, okay, what are my skill sets? My skill sets are basically, I went to school. I'm a college educated man. From New York City, I consider myself well cultured, but I've also considered myself well educated. Went to school for social work. Later developed a talent in sales because honestly, I was chasing the money just like all of us do here. But now I'm growing up, and everybody out there knows, sometimes when you're in your 20s, you feel a certain type of way of life about life. When you're in your 30s, you feel a certain type of way about life, and in your 40s, and so on and so on. But I said to myself, there's got to be a better way because I just feel unfulfilled. And now that's what this community is about. It's about giving back and really getting in touch with that part of yourself that just not focuses on your financial situation, but looks at things from a we standpoint. I've been blessed to have two great parents in my life to where, my mother, she was a hardworking person just like my dad was. But my mother, she's more of an education type of person, meaning going to school. My father, he was more of a workaholic and just, didn't go to school, but know how to keep his head down and just go to work every day and try to save his money that way. So here comes me, right? And I only say that to say that I've been fortunate enough to be able to go to school, be able to have a good job. I'm not doing great or anything. And as I'm doing this first video or first episode, if you will, I'm in my kitchen actually filming this because right now I got to clean things up. And, we do that, no matter where you are in the world, is that we try to make a better living for ourselves any way we can. And that starts with respecting ourselves, respecting our households, respecting, the time and energy and the care you need to put into a place that you live and put your head down, So that's what we all in America strive for, is knowing that things aren't perfect, but we want things to be better. We try to put our head down and go to work and, make a living for not only ourselves, but our families. But what I'm realizing is that, and, maybe I was naive to a certain extent, is that I've always seen poverty. I've always seen, discrimination. I've always seen prejudice. I've always seen, people not supporting one another. And there was parts of me throughout my whole life that said, you know what, I can't control that. I need to focus on me. And there'll be people who watch this episode and say, no, man, you got to focus on yourself. It's all about making money. You can't help everybody. And honestly, that's not the world I want to live in anymore. Like I said, I've done all right for myself, but I can always do better. And what I want to do better, and maybe many of you out there feel the same way, is how can we all do better? What can we do to ensure that we have a better tomorrow, a financially free tomorrow, one that doesn't discriminate against somebody just because it doesn't look like you, or maybe because they don't sound like you, or whatever, like one that just puts humanity first? And how can we collectively move toward that goal? So what this channel is about as well is it's talking about community dynamics and community organization. And these are two things that I absolutely believe in. But instead of giving you big words that may have little impact, because firmly, I've been in sales for a long time. And the one thing about me that I firmly understand is when you're trying to tell somebody something or educate somebody something, context is very important. So when I say community dynamics, let's talk about those dynamics. Those dynamics are within a community, how that community, shapes itself, how that community responds to challenges, how that community's infrastructure is built, its support systems. And you could use the word community. You can use the word village here, because this is going to apply universally no matter where you are in the world. How are the systems functioning together and coherently, if you will, to support one another? That's a part of your dynamic. And it doesn't have to be, some big grand word. Think about it. You might live in a community wherever you are in America, or, in Europe, in Africa, wherever you are, in Asia, India, whatever, but the point of it is that things are not always going to be pretty, but everybody got a community, everybody got a village, everybody has to have some kind of structure and infrastructure in place to support itself. And what I'm constantly realizing is that there are basic things that are set up within people's communities, but they're not elevated to the level that they should be at. As we go on throughout these episodes, we're going to take deep looks into why things are not the way that they're supposed to. It can be due to racism, discrimination, suppression of sorts. It's all types of tactics that are used. But at the end of the day, are you frustrated with the way that these systems have now aligned themselves to benefit some and not benefit others? If you want to call yourself America and be built on capitalism, it should be free trade, free for everybody. But we're seeing, and especially not only from the pandemic, but also from just the times we're living in with brutality, but also just the way people are not financially free right now. When you look at across the board, people are just not happy right now. And the reason why they're not happy is they're starting to realize that these systems have no place in this society. They don't function properly. Or there's another way you could look at this. Let's just say they've been underutilized because some systems are there. For instance, voting is one, and I'm going to talk about that on another episode. But to restrict people from not being able to vote, now we just had an election and people stormed the Capitol, and it's just like, what the hell is going on? And I say to myself, where's the dynamics in any of this? Why are we so mad? We're mad because these dynamics are not in place the way that they're supposed to be, the way that they were meant to be. And it's a system now that is just not functioning well for everybody. That's what I'm going to say in the short answer. Now let's get into the organization part of this. The organization, community organization, is very important. Instead of talking about it on a grand scale, let's look at it on more of a micro level, if you will. Let's say you live in a village or you live in a small town throughout America or wherever you are. You come outside of your particular neighborhood and, there was a time, and, maybe because I'm a little older in my life, but I've seen all types of things throughout my years in the communities that I've lived in. For instance, I can remember going and waking up and, my mom taking me to school or taking a bus to school. And I used to know everybody in my community, from the mailman to even your police officers, but also think about the business owners. I remember when I was a kid, we had a brother who used to own a video game shop, or it was like his version of a Blockbuster. And I grew up in New York City, and actually at this particular point, we lived in Queens, and I went to a Catholic school, and I didn't even know Catholic school had cost money because I was a kid, but that was just one of the things that my parents tried to do to make sure I was going to get ahead in life. So they sent me to this Catholic school. But outside the Catholic school, all the businesses, the churches, everything was Black, Latino, Asian. We had white people there. New York City just had everybody. But the point what I'm trying to make with the community organization is, for instance, we had a lot of support systems that were set up. For instance, we had the school, you had business owners, you knew your mailman, you knew your fire people, you knew everybody at all the businesses, from where you got your hair cut to where, if your parents didn't have a washer and dryer, you went to a laundromat. And, maybe you guys throughout other parts of the world maybe not have a laundromat and maybe have a washer and dryer in your home, but think about everything that happens in your community. When you step outside your community, from the local bodega or your convenience store, whatever you want to call it, that is a part of your community. That mail person is a part of your community. What goes on in your community, like from the way people live, the way people act, the way they respect one another, that's a part of the organization. And if crime happens in your area, it's a part of the organization to root that crime out. So those are things that we want to talk about within this channel, is how can we build better community dynamics, better community organization, and more love and support for our local communities. So that's really what I wanted to talk to you about, but I'm going to keep talking about the introduction a little bit. This channel is really about fighting a lot of issues that happen to be plaguing our society. Now, mainly I'm talking about Black and brown people, because that's just the way I am and I live that life. But I also understand that there are a lot of white people. I have a lot of white friends that are just not happy with the way they've even been treated. Because if you look at it, the way I look at it, half of these white people that may be, in rural counties in America, that you think are just your enemy, they're probably fighting the same things you are. They just don't understand it because they ain't got no money either. Let's get that right. You know what I mean? So I just don't understand where we're at. And I think we need to communicate a little bit better. And that's what this channel is going to be about. But at the end of the day, these are one of the things I want to do. I want to encourage other people to chime in with their stories, their feelings, things that they have experienced. And those talking points can be a various multitude of topics as we go through this. But, tell me what plagues you guys, what is bringing your community down. Ways that we can uplift your community, even though we might not be there, in person, but can we lend support other types of ways? That's what this community should be about, is sharing those thoughts. Also, we want to promote Black and brown businesses. I can't tell you how many restaurants we have, how many banks we have, how many clothing stores we have, how many doctors we have within our own local communities. We just have to bring these resources together that already exist right there. The other big point I want to talk about, and this is really important to me, is promoting positivity, man. Positivity is one of the things that is really needed, not only in life as a basic function, in order to live successfully and not be, held down or held back by roadblocks that may not even exist. Encouragement is real. Support is real. Love is real. So not only do we have to provide that for our members of our community, but those are simple, basic functions, that you can do to love somebody, to support somebody, to help somebody. These are basic common concepts, if you will, that we just need to get back to no matter what we do in life. Yes, things may be challenging. Yes, we may disagree. And I am not going to lie to you. As we go through these episodes, there are going to be times that we disagree on things. But, it's about us having that dialogue to say, look, I was wrong. I was right. Maybe you should have listened to me. Maybe you should understand me. You know what? I could be a better listener. I could be a better lover. I could be a better father. I could be a better mother. I could be a better, person. That's what we all want to do in life. So on this channel, that's what we're going to get to. But also, we're going to talk about things from, like I mentioned, police brutality. Some topics are going to be heavy. We're going to talk about voting rights. We're going to talk about support and supporting financial freedom. Oh my God, we have to talk about where we spend our dollars at this point, because if you notice what's going on with this society, I mean, these people won't even pass minimum wage. And I'm not even going to be extra political with this channel, because some things are political and some things are not to me. But $15 an hour, bro, this is just basic way of living. This is what we talking about, $31,000 a year. People need that over here. People need that everywhere. Come on, man. So these are the things we're talking about right now. So how can we be more financially free? And the reason why I'm saying financially free, financials are a very big, important part of this. If you really think about it, it absolutely is. Things do not happen unless people start controlling dollars. We looked at when the protests happened, all these companies coming out here saying that they support Black Lives Matter, or people want to throw money at this, people want to throw money at that. We just got to take our money because we in control of it. I'm not saying, fam, I went to Target yesterday. I'm not that type of dude around here. I went to Target yesterday, but I'm not stupid enough to get Target all my money or Walmart all my money, because I know there's a local bodega right there at the corner that I can get all my goods from at a reasonable price. And even if I paid a little bit more, guess what? That person's in my community. Imagine if that store wasn't in my community. How many of you guys, let me know out there, I've been through mad places in this great country of America. Like, we've had our bad parts of America, but there's some good parts here. There really are. Like, when you travel sometime and you experience love as a person who's been throughout the Southeast and the West Coast here in America, you will experience love in a lot of places. But my point is that no matter where you are in America, if you don't have that local store, convenience store, a candy lady, a bodega, no matter what you call it, no matter where you're in America or all over the world, you have to have access to resources to day-to-day stuff. And if you're not supporting your local community members, your local store owners, then you're going to be forced to go to the big box. So I don't care if I have to spend 20 more cents. Notice I said 20 more cents for an item, not $2, $3, price gouging, none of that. But I'm fine with supporting my local community because at the end of the day, I appreciate the fact that there's a store right there that I can access. So we have to be able to spend money within our own. Doesn't mean like, you're going to give up on rocking designer if you want to rock designer clothing, bro. I'm the first person to tell you there's nothing wrong with liking nice things, but we have to be smart about balance. And another part of financials is eliminating your debts, learning how to spend money or saving your money. So these are topics that we're going to have to talk about on this channel and ways that we can do better to uplift ourselves financially. I can't tell you how thankful I am to everybody that I see supporting these type of movements and starting these channels. I was just watching a brother talk about going back to Africa, and I've never been to Africa. And I said to myself, you know what? That would be a great moment in my life to where, we can build this community up and I can share my talking points with people that we meet in Africa. You guys may be in somewhere in South America. Let's talk. Let's figure things out together. Tell me about what's plaguing your community and what we can do to support your community. Even if we can't be there, ways that we can help eliminate some of the hurt that members in your community are feeling. So that's what's really going to be the introduction. The next episode I'm going to do is going to be about voting. Like I said, every topic that I talk about on this channel or topics that we talk about, because I definitely want you guys feedback, please let me know what talking points you guys want me to cover. I would encourage engagement from the community of suggested topics that we can talk about and deliberate on and figure out which ways that we can help solve these issues. But the next topic is definitely going to be about voting. And it's really a heavy topic, to be honest with you, because some people like voting, some people don't. Some people are satisfied, some people are unsatisfied. And we know what time we're living in here when we're speaking about not only American voting systems, but think about what's going on overseas with some of their voting systems. So, and then what you're seeing right now in Atlanta or in Georgia, for instance, with, I don't even think it's just happening in Georgia. It's happening all across the nation right now. Everybody was focused on Trump's impeachment trial. All these Republicans out here are trying to suppress black and brown voting. I mean, what type of mess or what type of world can you possibly live in where you're like, you know what? All of these people who go to church and then go to church, worship their God, worship their Lord, their house of worship that they choose to deliberate in and, talk amongst each other and gather on Sunday. Now, after those people go to church and they decide that they want to go to the voting blocks, or they want to go vote, or they want to have some sense of community, some type of shared engagement, and then go vote right after they praise the Lord, these people are like, no, you can't do that. What type of world are we living in? So that's the things this is the reason why I think the next episode, has to be about voting. And then we're going to get to some love stories about positive vibes, because I'm definitely going to be talking about positive vibes. Throughout this channel, we're going to talk about heavy stuff. We're going to talk about light stuff, but also we're going to talk about love, man. I saw something today that was just absolutely beautiful. So this is just the first intro episode. I'm new at doing this. Things are not going to be perfect. You guys are not perfect. I'm not perfect. But at the end of the day, we are trying to build not a perfect tomorrow, but a better tomorrow. And I can't do that alone. You guys can't do it alone. We need each other. And we need to communicate, deliberate, challenge ourselves, but also empower ourselves. And I can't do it without you guys. So this is me signing off till I talk to you guys again. You Are My Brother, episode 1, the introduction.